Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Ganantimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthatam Jena Mudare Svaha Mataji Mukam Karoti Vachalam Ayate Garim Yagripa Tamaham Bande Sri Guru Tarinam. So, we'd like to welcome everybody this evening to the fundraising dinner for the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you all for participating. I'd like to thank Sukadev Prabhu, Jaisachi Prabhu, Aticharupa, for making all of the arrangements for this evening's celebrations. I'd also like to welcome the members of the fundraising team of the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium, especially Ambarish Prabhu and Svaha Mataji, Jananivas Prabhu, Brajavilas Prabhu, and also I'd like to welcome His Holiness Ramai Swami, our GBC. Also, I noticed Sri Dham Mayapur Prabhu also snuck in from Perth. Welcome. So we have a fairly lengthy program, and we want to get started straight away. We'll be offering Puja to Lord Nrisimhadeva and Lord Nityananda from Mayapur. So let's get started. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Sadma. Mandamu Savadhana Mate. Yara Prasadhe Eva Vatoriyaya. Krishna Prabhu Haya Hare. Krishna Prabhu Haya Hare. Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriyaya. Anam Kori Hamane Asa. Anakore Hamane Asa. Sri Guru Charane Rati Esayu Namagati. Ye prasade pure sarva asa. Ye prasade pure sarva asa. Chakku dandiloye janme janme Prabhu se. Kudandiloye janme janme Prabhu se. Divya gyani re pravatito. Divya gyani re pravatito. Prema bhaktiya ite abhijam vinasayate. Prema bhaktiya ite abhijam vinasayate. Vere gaya hara charito. Vere gaya hara charito. Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janana Bandhu. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janana Bandhu. Lokana Lokera Dimana. Lokana Lokera Dimana. Prabhu Korono Amore Padakaya. Aha Prabhu Korodoya, Dehamore Padachaya. Ebe Asa Gutuk Tribhumana. Ebe Asa Gutuk Tribhumana. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janana Bandhu. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janana Bandhu. Lokanath Lokara Divana. Lokanath Lokara Divana. Ah Prabhu Koro Doya De Hamare Parajaya. Ah Prabhu Koro Doya De Hamare Parajaya. Ebe Gusu Pruvana. Sinda Prabhu Patita Bhavana. Namarum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namarum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Swami Iti Namine Namaste Sarasate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavani Padachare Satarine Namaste Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Srivatariga Bhaktavi Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivatariga Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivatari Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Prabhu Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Pada Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupada Pramantri Viraj Gatariya Tatara Tara Sisi Mangamanga Sisi Bhakta Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Antigone Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namachari Sri Haridas Tagore Ki Jai. Prem Sri Host Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Siya Vedikadara Sri Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Shama Krishna Radha Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Joy Mandir Ki Jai. TOVP Jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories to some of the bodies. All glories to some of the bodies. All glories to some of the bodies. Glories to Sri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Going on table and collecting the funds and telling their names out loud. Are you okay?
So if everybody would like to get seated,
Okay.
we've got a wonderful night ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bhakta Das and I'll be your MC for tonight. Because we're in this public place, it's customary to take this opportunity to pay respects to the traditional custodians of the land which we're now gathered on. Prabhus, this is a very auspicious night. It's a night where your participation is of the utmost importance. So we're doing some fundraising here for the wonderful Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the devotees that have already contributed to the
Speak on the
TOVP
mic. Collect the funds.
when they went to Mayapur and have contributed there. So we like a great thanks to you for doing that. But there is a little bit more to be had. So this is an amazing event. Well, it's great to see so many people here. It's wonderful that you're all partaking in this wonderful event. First and foremost, we're going to have some short talks by the members that have come, the wonderful guests that are here tonight. And first and foremost, I'd like to ask His Grace Jananivas Prabhu to come up and say a few words. Jananivas Prabhu ki jai.
Om Agyantimirandasya Janan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Jina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Prabhupada ki. So I suppose most of you have been to Mayapur and you've seen the project there. So our ambition is to move the Sri Panchatattva, Sri Radha Madhav, and the Guru Parampara also will be there. So we're hoping that they can move, everybody can move by 2022. This is our goal. So this is our dream. In our lifetime at least we can take Radha Madhava. They're living in very poor condition for all these years. Give them the palace they deserve. I tell a little history of Radha Madhava, which is quite significant. In 1971, Srila Prabhupada was making his first tour of India with his Western disciples. This is the first time that, practically the Indians had seen, Western disciples with tilak and dhoti and everything like that. Anyway, it was a big success. When Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, he was donated 3 sets of deities, Radha Krishna deities. And 1 set went to Boston, 1 set went to Berkeley, and the other set he kept with him when he was traveling. So they became part of the party, the traveling party. And when they were in Gorakhpur, Prabhupada was chanting that song, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, to these deities. This was the first time we'd heard this song. We like to think this was the actual installation of Radha Madhava. And then Prabhupada, he went into an internal ecstasy for some time. You can read in the ISKCON songbook, you look at Radha Madhava, the translation, it tells his story. How Prabhupada went into an internal ecstasy for some time. And then he came external. And he said, this song is so nice. It's a picture of Vrindavan. He said, Radha Madhava is there, Jamuna is there, Govardhan is there. So nice song. So from that time on, Prabhupada always chanted this song, Jaya Radha Madhava, which today all around the world, every ISKCON temple, generally before Bhagavatam class, we chant this song, Jaya Radha Madhava. So Prabhupada, he named them Jaya Radha Madhava. When the program got to Calcutta, now Prabhupada said they can stay here now. So then they stayed in Calcutta, the small Radha Madhava. This is a small Radha Madhava we're talking about. Generally, the big deities come first and small deities come afterwards. But in this case, the small Radha Madhava came first, and then years later, the large Radha Madhava came. So anyway, in 1972, we had our first International Society for Krishna Consciousness Gaur-Purnima Festival in Mayapur Dham. And again, it was a big success. About 70 devotees came, mostly from America, because America was more developed in Krishna consciousness at that time. And so they presided over the program. Right at that time, Srila Prabhupada laid the foundation stone for the temple of the Vedic Planetarium. Round about here somewhere, under that clock. So Srila Prabhupada personally climbed down the hole, laid the Anantadev and for the whole project of the Mayapur Chandradoya Mandir, a Vedic temple of the Vedic Planetarium. And so the program finished, the Gaur-Purnima, everybody was going back and to their countries, and Srila Prabhupada said, "Where is Radha Madhava?" And they said, "We put them in the trunk, Srila Prabhupada, we're going to take back to Calcutta." He said, "No." He said, "Now they are here, they should stay here. They should not leave." So we said, "Where will they stay, Prabhupada?" He said, "Where are the devotees staying?" "Well, we only have the Bhajan Kutir, Prabhupada, the straw hut that was the only building at that time. They can stay there until we build a new temple for them." So they stayed in Mayapur. And at the end of 1972, Prabhupada had another project in Hyderabad. Someone had donated some land, and Prabhupada wanted to start a center in Hyderabad. And so the devotees, they said, "Well, we haven't got any deities locally." At that time, there's only 2 or 3 temples in India, I think. So they said, "Let's take Radha Madhava from Mayapur," because no one's going to Mayapur anyway. It was a completely isolated place at that time. Literally, no one was coming. "Let's take Radha Madhava from Mayapur." So they took Radha Madhava from Mayapur, and they gave it their little Radha Gopinath, about 6 inches. So they were sitting there in Mayapur, and the large Radha Madhava went to Hyderabad. When Srila Prabhupada came for darshan, he came to the deities and he was offering his pranam. He said, "Who are the deities?" They said, "It's Radha Madhava, Srila Prabhupada." "From Mayapur?" He said, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada." He said, "I told you not to bring those deities should not stay in Mayapur. I told you they should stay in Mayapur. Why did you bring them? When they go back, they must stay there and not leave again." So this is significant in historical significance because Sri Jayadeva Goswami, you all know the great poet Jayadeva Goswami, Jai Jagadish Hare, especially his Dasavatara Shloka. Well, he was living in Mayapur at that time during the reign of King Lakshman Sen, who was the son of Balal Sen. And he was living there at Balal Digi, there's a Pritukund. He was a court pundit. And he wrote one poem, or some writing, and he said that in this place of Sri Dham Mayapur, he said a city will become manifest. And a very huge temple will come there. And the name of the deities, the predominating deities of that temple will be known as Sri Sri Radha Madhav Ki. So even this was a couple of 100 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared later, then he revealed his desire. Adbhut Mandir Hoy Vikas. There will be an astonishing temple built here. So that was 500 years after. So Jayadeva was 200 years before. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur revealed it to us 100 years ago. And then Srila Prabhupada revealed more of what he wanted in the actual details of the whole temple, etc. like that. So this is the vision of the Charyas. We thought, Prabhupada just chanted Radha Madhava, went into ecstasy, and he just happened to be local, close to Calcutta, so we brought them from Calcutta to Mayapur. No, but the acharyas had this vision. It was destined, even Jayadeva's prophesied. So we may not be able to understand the movement of the acharyas, but we can follow in their footsteps. And we do know for sure they do want this temple built. All of the acharyas are saying it. Nityananda Prabhu explained to Jiva Goswami, Mahaprabhu prophesied it to Jiva, Nityananda, and Jayadeva Goswami. So if we simply follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, that much we can do. So at least we can build the temple. That we can do. So you please help to build this temple and fulfill the desires of Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas and Gaunitai and move Panchatattva and Radhamabha into their beautiful new home. We waited a long time. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Now I'd like to call up His Grace Ambarish Prabhu to say a few words. Ambarish Prabhu has been a major sponsor of this wonderful project, and I think he has some profound words to say to us about how we can all contribute.
Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishnavastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Eva Grovani Vicharane Nirvisesa Sanivadi Paschita. Jai Hare Krishna. So happy to be here tonight. So many wonderful devotees here, and they've been taking such wonderful care of us at the temple. And I'll just say a couple of words to glorify Jananivas, because at about the same time that Prabhupada was telling Radhamadeva that they had to stay in Mayapur, he was also telling Jananivas and his brother, Pankajangari, that they had to stay in Mayapur. So he's been taking care of the deities there for like 40 plus years. And he's Jai. Haribol. And he's never left Mayapur. He never had any plans to leave Mayapur, but when he was asked to come along and help us to raise the money to build the new home for Radhamadeva and the Panchatattva, he gladly pitched in, and he's become a world traveler, and he's gone all the places he said he never would go, he's gone. So he'll go anywhere to raise money to get this temple built. He's been involved since the beginning with Bhavananda Prabhu, who knows Mayapur project probably better than anybody. So they've been working together to come up with this plan. And really, Srila Prabhupada is the architect of this building, because many of you know the history of the TOVP. For many years, we had so many different designs, and we'd come up with one design that was huge, very tall, very thin South India design. And the price tag of doing it in stone was 500 million pounds. So, actually the government of West Bengal, the communist government, they were blocking us at every turn. But it turns out that they were actually our friend, because they prevented us from making big blunders. We made a lot of little blunders, but not a big blunder. So in 2005, they completely stopped us from our plan to build this big, tall stone temple out in the back rice fields behind, behind where the temple is now. So we thought, what are we going to do? We've been totally stopped by the government. We don't know what to do. We have the money, we have the plans, but we just can't get anywhere. We're spinning our wheels. So I was on my way to India in the spring of 2005, or 2006 it was. And I was in Florida, and it was the night before I was flying there. And I was frustrated. I didn't know what we were going to do. I've been kind of working with the different teams on this project since Centennial in 1996. So it had been 10 years, and we just haven't gotten anywhere, and we'd spent quite a bit of money. So as I was going to bed, I just said a little prayer. I said, Srila Prabhupada, just tell me what you want me to do. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up at dawn, and there was a thunderstorm going on, and I had just woken up from a dream, and I was sitting at Prabhupada's feet and asking him, should we move the temple to Jagannath Puri, because the government of Orissa had offered us land and support, whereas in West Bengal we've gotten nothing but opposition. So, I asked Srila Prabhupada, should we move the temple? And he just kind of looked at me, didn't say anything, and when I woke up, I realized, why did I ask such a stupid question, We know where Srila Prabhupada wanted this temple. He's been telling us for like the last, couple of 2, 3, or 4 years of his pastimes on earth. He was telling us, I want to bring the whole world to Mayapur. I want to build a big temple in Mayapur. So with that in mind, I flew all the way to India, and I went to see my friend Ramai Swami in Chowpatty. And I told him that I'd had this realization and that we wanted to build the temple in Mayapur, but we wanted a reasonable budget, a reasonable design, a temple that was buildable, and we wanted also to go back to Srila Prabhupada's original idea, which was a large dome structure. And this is actually the most intelligent architecture for this building, because with a dome, you can have a huge kirtan hall that will, hold 10,000 devotees chanting without any obstruction, without any pillars. So you can see the deities from everywhere. So it's actually the most intelligent design is to have a dome like this. So I went to Ramai Swami and I told him that we wanted to do like this, and he gave us his blessings, and I went to Mayapur and presented the plan to the GBC. They gave us their blessings, and so we started with the design, and then a couple of years later, I think 2009, we started putting in the pilings, and the building has just blossomed. I mean, it's amazing how much has been done in 10 years or a little over 10 years. So we feel like we have the blessings of the previous acharyas, as Jananivas Prabhu was saying. We feel we have their blessings. We feel we have the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Madhava. So things are moving ahead forward. And, we thought in the beginning maybe we'll get a couple of really wealthy people. I put a lot of money in the beginning just to get the project off the ground. And we thought maybe we'll get some more multi-million-dollar donors. But what we found is that we're raising, most of the money we're raising from devotees from all over the world. And it is our great pleasure to be able to come places like Melbourne, like Sydney, like Fiji, and give them the opportunity to be involved in this project, either in a big way or a small way. People are devotees are very enthusiastic around the world to become part of this project. Srila Prabhupada believed that from this temple, there's a quote, and I don't know how Jananivas knows it. From this temple, it's in Bengali, so my wife will say it. Anyway, from this temple, the love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will spread all over the world. So, this Krishna consciousness movement and the love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gaur Nitai are so needed now in this world. Every day there's so much craziness going on, and it's getting worse and worse. Kali Yuga is turning the screws up all the time, and it's very worrisome to be on this planet at this time. So we really need a revolution in consciousness, and that's what Srila Prabhupada wanted. And this temple is like the Brihat Mridanga that will beat, and the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be spread all over the world. Even it's being spread right now, but it'll be magnified and made so much more bigger from the devotees who go there and get rejuvenated. Because when you come there, spiritual realization is very easy to find in Mayapur. You go there, you immediately become spiritualized because it's the land of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's the most magnificent, the most merciful incarnation of God. So I'm very happy to be involved in this project. I tell everybody, Srila Prabhupada finally gave me a job because, you know, I was kind of unemployable for many years. But, you know, when we did the project in Detroit, Devasadan Mandir, which we bought in '75. Srila Prabhupada and myself and Govardhan, who was the temple president, went there and looked for new buildings, and we bought the building. Srila Prabhupada negotiated with the price and everything, and we bought the building '75, '76. We refurbished the whole building and moved in. So in the summer of '76, I went there, and Srila Prabhupada was up in his chambers, and he was talking about the TOVP and describing about the different exhibits that go up in the dome and everything. And so he turned to me and he said, "How do you like this idea?" And I said, "Oh, it sounds like a very nice idea." Even though I didn't even know where Mayapur was. So, but it sounded like a wonderful idea, you know, that to, you know, a kick in the face of the modern scientists and the atheists, and presenting the science and cosmology according to the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you know, sounded like a wonderful idea. So I said, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada, that sounds like a wonderful idea." And he said, "Okay, oh, that's good. You like it too. And you can help finance," you know. And I was sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, I just spent all this money on this Devasadan Mandir," you know. And then, you know, but that's when he planted the seed in my heart about being involved with this project. And it took many years, you know. Srila Prabhupada left the planet in '77, and it wasn't until 2005. I mean, after the centennial, I got more and more involved with the project. With Sridhar Maharaj and I would go out and try to raise funds. But the project never really got off the ground, as I was saying before. So, you know, after, you know, many years, then somehow or other it started manifesting itself, and ever since then, it almost has a life of its own. So Srila Prabhupada planted the seed in '76, and it started fructifying maybe about 10 years ago, and now it's coming up very fast. You'll see the video, you know, how much work has been done. So we still need a lot of help to finish this building. We want, as Jananivas Prabhu was saying, we want to have it finished by 2022, which is the 50th anniversary of the Mayapur project, to offer to the deities and to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada really wanted, he said, every acharya has had a project in Mayapur. And he said, "Thank you very much." And they hadn't really done anything at that point, but he said, "Thank you very much for helping me." You know, so we want to be able to offer this to Srila Prabhupada in the 50th anniversary of Mayapur project. And Mayapur is a home for all devotees. You may be living here in Melbourne, but actually your heart is in Mayapur, because that is the birthplace and the home of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all of you who are chanting Hare Krishna, that is all coming from the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the heart of ISKCON, which is Mayapur. So we invite all of you to come visit. It's a fantastic place. When you stand in front of the Panchatattva that are 7 feet tall, I think, right? Yeah, Panchatattva are 7 feet tall, and Radha Madhava are about the same size. It's just awesome, where the deities, and Jananivas take such beautiful care of Radha Madhava. They're the most beautiful deities. So please come, and please participate in this project. You'll be a winner. Your family will be a winner. It'll help you all spiritually. It's certainly been the focus of our lives for many, many years. And my children also have gotten involved. I took them there last year. So they're very much impressed and very happy that they were able to contribute something So thank you very much for your hospitality and for inviting us to come here. And please take whatever information you can or whatever information you're interested in. And thank you very much. And Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Ambarish Prabhu ki. So Ambarish Prabhu was saying that actually Melbourne is actually very closely linked to Mayapur. And in a sense it is, in that the CEO of the project, Sadbhuj, His Grace Sadbhuj Prabhu, is a local devotee from Melbourne. He served here at Melbourne Mandir for many, many years, and now he heads up the project in Mayapur. And he works tirelessly. He's a great worker and a great devotee, and he should also, and you should understand that actually he comes here from Melbourne. So next I'd like to ask if Her Grace Svaha Mataji will come up and say a few words. Svaha Mataji is also not a stranger to Melbourne. We met Svaha many years ago when she was studying here for her becoming a doctor in Melbourne University. With a very great soul who was also here from Melbourne, Puri Das. And Melbourne sparked her Krishna consciousness. So I'd like you to make Svaha Devi welcome. Svaha.
Hare Krishna. It's so nice to be here back with all my old friends and new. And I'm overwhelmed with gratitude at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, who has brought me back to Melbourne and blessed me with this opportunity to be with all of you here tonight. We are very grateful to Ramai Swami for lending us his support. And I would like to thank Aniruddha Prabhu and Mother Achinta Rupa for inviting us. And it's such a pleasure to be back in their association after so many years. And it's really inspiring to see that they have not only continued their service to this yatra, but with the able assistance of Sukadev Prabhu and all of you have really expanded. We were hearing of all the 2 restaurants and all the big plans. So this is real dedication, and Srila Prabhupada would be so pleased. Thank you to all the devotees who have been taking such good care of us. And thank you for taking care of the deities so very nicely. I mean, it was a feast for the eyes to see them dressed so exquisitely with such beautiful garlands and such colorful vases. And Srila Prabhupada often said that if you take care of the devotees, then of the deities, then everything else will follow. And last, but the most important, the Mahaprabhu Mandir Prasad, so which keeps us coming back for more. This temple holds a very special place in my heart because this is where I met the devotees. I was a student at Melbourne University, and one evening heading home, I saw the devotees chanting, and they handed me a BTG and a laddu for a very small donation. And then a few years back, I saw the footage of Srila Prabhupada bathing Sri Gaurnita with a ladle so gracefully, and Kurma Prabhu was narrating their installation. And the supremely divine and enchanting forms of Sri Radha Vallabha were also installed by Srila Prabhupada. Their lordship, Sri Jagannath Dev, Baladev, and Subhadra, also their Rath Yatra was celebrated by Prabhupada in Melbourne. So this temple is a very special temple, and all of us that are connected are really very, very fortunate. How many of you have been to Mayapur and seen the TOVP in person? So that's a lot of you. And those of you who haven't been there, well, this is your lucky night, because the TOVP has come to visit you. And just as Lord Nityananda went out on Sankirtan with Srila Haridas Thakur to deliver all the fallen souls, so now the lotus padukas of Lord Nityananda and the Sitari of Nrisimhadev are traveling all over the world with the assistance of their very dear devotee, Jananivas Prabhu, and with the help of Brajavilas Prabhu. And they are giving their mercy and the greatest fortune to take part in building this temple. Just as Srila Prabhupada empowered all those early disciples to open new temples all over the world, similarly, he's empowering each one of us to take part and be pioneers in helping to manifest the greatest of all temples. You heard Jananivas Prabhu and my dear husband talking about Lord Nityananda's tour. He was giving a tour to Srila Jiva Goswami, and when he came to the center of Antardweep, where Mayapur is, he said, "Ek adbhut mondir hoibe prakash, Gauranger nitya lila hoibe vikas." An astounding temple will appear from which the eternal service of Gauranga Mahaprabhu will expand. And the mercy of Sri Gauranga will inundate the whole world. Then around about 150 years back, one evening while gazing across the Jalangi from his bhajan kutir, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a vision of an illuminated city with a beautiful golden temple in the middle. And in 1885, he wrote that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear just to deliver the Indians. He came here to deliver the whole world. So he had such broad vision, and he saw a day not so far off in the future when Australians, Americans, Europeans, and people from all over the world wearing kantimalas and tilak and playing mridanga and kartals and singing Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. So then 1896 was a very important year for us, because that's the year that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book on Lord Chaitanya was sent to McGill University in Canada. And as we all know, the Senapati Acharya, who spread the glories of the holy name all over the world, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, appeared in that year. And Srila Prabhupada mentions this important milestone in his introduction to the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, so fast forward, here we are in November of 2017, and we cannot begin to imagine our good fortune. Out of the 7 billion or so humans on this planet right now, in this day of Brahma, when Lord Krishna himself appeared in the Dwapara Yuga, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, appeared in the Kali Yuga to give us the privilege of the most pleasing service to Srila Prabhupada. I think Giriraj Swami is no stranger to anybody who's been in ISKCON. He is so respected and loved. Srila Prabhupada once said about him, he said, Giriraj Swami not only has a keen intellect, but it's coupled with a very compassionate heart. And that's the perfect recipe for a very nice Vaishnava. So I want to read you something Giriraj Swami himself has written. So these are Giriraj Swami's words. In 1971, as a young devotee in Calcutta, I approached Srila Prabhupada. I said, I have been trying to understand what your desire is, and two things seem to please you the most: distributing your books and building the big temple in Mayapur. So Prabhupada's face lit up, his eyes opened wide, and he smiled and he said, yes, you have understood. So would you all like to see Prabhupada's eyes open wide and with a huge smile and face lit up? So then you can all take part in building the TOVP, because that would be a really worthy offering from all of us, not only to Srila Prabhupada, but to the whole parampara. And for giving us the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Prem Pumartho Mahan. As a rising tide lifts all boats, similarly the TOVP will raise the profile of ISKCON in a very significant way, which may not be very clear to us right now, but in many ways both conceivable and inconceivable to all of us. For starters, preaching will become really easy. I want to tell you a short incident that happened on our way here. I met a stewardess on our flight from the US to Sydney, which was meant to be a non-stop flight, but because of headwinds, they had to make a stop in Brisbane to refuel. So they took in a whole new crew, and one stewardess came up to, she was introducing herself to all the passengers, and she came up to me and extended her hand to shake my hand, and so I pulled out my hand from my bead bag and I shook her hand, and she was immediately like interested, you know, so I didn't waste any time. I told her all about our philosophy. And then she was a very keen observer, I have to say, because I had this book, which is the Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, which I always read before our tour of the TOVP. And it has a beautiful picture of the TOVP on the cover. So she pointed to it, and I explained to her that how we are building this temple to show the Vedic concept of how the planets and this whole universe is designed. There's a person behind, and if we have a law of gravity, it makes sense that there's a person makes laws. The laws don't just happen from an explosion, random explosion. And she was very interested, and then, so I told her about Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and she said she had heard about the Bhagavad Gita, and but she had read the Mayavad version of it, so I told her about Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and she was very interested and wanted all the books. So I see Krishna's hand, you know, in every situation, because we were tired and complaining about why we had to make this extra stop, but this, Krishna is so kind that, you know, this lost soul was now going to get books of Srila Prabhupada. And so Krishna and Prabhupada's mercy just are, they never, you know, stop amazing me how they find their way to all the fallen souls. So the TOVP will become the world leader in the study of consciousness and the phenomenal world. It will establish Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Yuga avatar, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as the Yuga Dharma, and Srila Prabhupada as our Jagat Guru. So we are here tonight to receive the same benediction that Arjuna received from Krishna. Krishna said, Nimitta Matra Bhava Savisachi. So Krishna tells Arjuna, just become my instrument. I've already killed these kings. You just fight and take the credit. So this temple is manifesting right before our eyes, and we can accept our good fortune by taking part in this yagya by the divine grace of our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. TOVP Ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Swaha Devi. Now, finally, I'd like to call up His Holiness Ramai Swami, who's the GBC of Australia, one of the GBC of Australia. Everybody loves his Maharaj, so some quick words of Maharaj, and then we'll get into the actual presentation.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Bhaktadas did say quick words, and I think that, Ambarish Prabhu and Svaha Dasi, they're such eloquent speakers that I think they should go on the lecture circuit because they're better than myself, that's for sure. So anyway, I see my role here as more of the host and lending support. And we see how dedicated they are, Jananivas, Brajavilas. They're traveling all over the world. They're given many millions of dollars of their own money to build this Mayapur Chandradoya, or the TOVP, sorry. But we see how massive a building it is, especially getting this look from above. And I was watching before, there was one fellow who was walking at the very top, just walking freely. I don't know, he's just like, and he's like an ant up there. So we get an idea how massive, and so, but as you can also see, there's a lot more to do. It looks like the tiles have gone. Is that the blue? The tiles on the lower sections, are they tiles on there? They're tiles. So we want to cover. You saw the 3D image before with the beautiful blue tiles and how beautiful it will look when it's finished on the outside, and of course on the inside there's a lot of work to be done. So I'd like to thank them. As you heard, Ambarish Prabhu has been involved with this TOVP for 20-25 years, and he's just, and there's been a lot of changes to the concept of it and the different management teams, but he's been there the whole time. So him and Svaha, Devidas, Jananivas, Brajavilas, give them a big hand. Just wonderful, dedicated service. And I often say this, I often use this story when Prabhupada came here for the Rath Yatra in 1974. At the end of the parade, he gave a speech. It wasn't very long, but he began with saying that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he expanded on that a little bit. But it was very, so I always noted that we are the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we know that this was the prediction of Lord Nityananda and the prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Svaha Devi Dasi told very eloquently that he predicted that all the people of the world would come from all the countries and chant Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. So we're seeing that now this is being fulfilled. And Prabhupada especially wanted this big TOVP. He actually called Mayapur Chandradoya Mandir. He said this is the rising moon of Lord Chaitanya. And one time he said, now make it a full moon by taking it all over the world and giving this Krishna consciousness. I was giving a lecture the other day on the appearance of Nimbakacharya from the Kumara Sampradaya, where he had darshan of Radha and Krishna who told him, "We are very happy with you, with your sadhana and your chanting, and we are going to come in the future in a combined form." And they manifest that form of Lord Chaitanya to Nimbakacharya. He fainted when he saw Lord Chaitanya. And when he came back to consciousness, he was so overwhelmed. And Lord Chaitanya said, "Now I'm going to take the essence of all the teachings of the Vaishnava Sampradayas, the Rudra Sampradaya, and the Sri Sampradaya, and the York Kumara, and from the Brahma Sampradaya, and I'm going to give the essence, and I want to spread that all over the world. This prem and this bhava I will give freely." So we're very fortunate to be in the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who very much is giving the mood of Radharani and Radha Bhav. And so we're very fortunate to be participating. And that's, as I said, Prabhupada said that, I thank you very much for participating in the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Ratha Yatra time, but he saw everything as connected to the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the place of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This TOVP Prabhupada's idea was to attract people not only from India, from all over the world, to come and visit there. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. We're hosting here in Australia. They've already been to Perth Temple, and Sitaram and Brajavilas was telling me that the devotees came there and were very supportive and were giving and very generously to help fund a lot of work that's been done. And even Adelaide, which is a very small temple, they're very successful in their fundraising. And of course, after here, they're going to Sydney, they're going to New Govardhan, Brisbane, they're going to Auckland, they're going to Fiji. And they're traveling all over the world. You know, you went to Russia, right? And you went to South Africa. Ambarish personally is going. You know, he lives in Florida, and he came all the way. That's a very long flight for those of you who travel. It's not easy to fly around. And we see, you know, his body is not so young anymore. I think in the future Krishna will give him a nice shiny new body, but a spiritual body. But I saw even going down the stairs, he was going a little bit wobbly. But still, he's making the sacrifice, and he's getting on the plane, and he's flying to all parts of the world. So he's coming all the way to here, and it was very wonderful to see how many of you come tonight. Very, very wonderful. And I'd like to thank Aniruddha Prabhu and Achincha Rupa and all the devotees here who've helped to sponsor, and all of you who've come tonight. It's a wonderful turnout. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna, and we hope to have a very wonderful evening tonight.
So now if I can call on Brajavilas Prabhu to come up, and he's going to be making a video presentation on the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. Okay, we're going to play the video first. Prabhus, if we can switch that on.
Gaura, Gaura, Nittai Gaura, 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 Nittai Gaura, 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 Nittai Gaura, Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Nittai Gaura, 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 Hare. Nava Gauravaram, Nava Pushpasaram, Nava Bhavadharam, Nava Lasya Param, Nava Hasya Karam, Nava Hemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Suta Gauravaram, Pranamami Shachi Suta Gauravaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Gaura, 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 Gaura Hari. Gaura, 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 Gaura Hari. Gaura, 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 Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Karatala-valam kalakantaravam mriduvadya suvinikaya madhuram nija bhakti gunavritanathyakaram. Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Krishna Keshava Krishna
So a big round of applause, please, for Brajavilas Prabhu. After his presentation, we'll be starting the actual fundraising.
Ajano lambitao bujao kanakavadato sankirtanaka pitaro kamalaya daksho Vishwambaro Dujabaro Yugadharma Phalo Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karunavataro 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 Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Pashtate Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. When we landed in Perth, Sitaram Prabhuji was telling me, Prabhu, today is Australian Cup. The whole of Australia is in a standstill. Everybody takes vacation. This is what exactly Srila Prabhupada wanted to do for Mayapur. He said, my idea is to attract the people of the whole world to Mayapur, so there is a standstill. If you cooperate, in 21 days, I will take the whole world. This is what he wanted to do. And he said, I don't want the world to say that the Hare Krishnas came, they danced, they chanted, and they went away. Build temples. Build temples. And he said, if Bhaktivedanta Swami has to sit under a tree, who will come? So build temples. This is the most dear project to Srila Prabhupada. Krishna has the greatest gratitude. And today we have assembled because of gratitude. Kritagyata. Vyasadeva says that he has scrutinized all the scriptures. And there is atonement for every sin except one. That is ungratefulness. If you are ungrateful, there is no atonement. He says, Kritagnata mahapapam nishkritim nasha vidyate. There is no atonement for ungratefulness. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to build this temple and attract the whole world to Mayapur. This is his idea. This is his idea. In 1972, when there was nothing in Mayapur, we got the first 3 acres of land. First 3 acres of land in 1972. And Prabhupada was giving an offering to his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. in that offering, he said every Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya has done something for Mahaprabhu. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he went to each and every home, collected 1 rupee and built Yoga Peeth. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, my Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj, in 14 years, he has established 64 Gaudiya Math, of which the headquarters he had established in Mayapur, Chaitanya Math, when there was nothing in Mayapur. And there was a story when the temple, they were building the temple, he wanted the temple to be finished soon. And the workers were taking a BD break. They were smoking BDs. In Calcutta, they were very poor, so they have to roll the BDs and smoke. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, hey, don't wait. I will roll the BDs for you. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. And Srila Prabhupada said, similarly, I also want to build this temple and offer it to Mahaprabhu as my personal offering. And he folded his hands. And he said, thank you, boys and girls, for helping me to build this temple. And he couldn't speak anymore. Tears were in his eyes. This is the emotion and sentiment of our Acharya, of our father Srila Prabhupada in this project. As I said, Krishna has the greatest gratitude. 35 years we were searching where we will build this temple, as Ambarish Prabhu was saying. But Krishna has the greatest gratitude. There was a park here, and that park was built by Australian devotees. And Krishna chose this park that I will manifest in this place where my Australian devotees had built this park. This is the glories of Australian devotees. This is the greatest gratitude. We are here in gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. For Srila Prabhupada personally coming here to deliver us. We are in gratitude. There is a story, as Prabhuji was saying, that everybody has already contributed so much to our kitchen project. There is a story which I wanted to tell you. This story is between the daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. India, daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. I don't know about Australia. The mother-in-law was giving so much work to the daughter-in-law. 24 hours she was taking work from the daughter-in-law. So one day the mother-in-law says to daughter-in-law that, hey, Ari Bohiriya, Sasulo, you take some breath. Stop spinning the wheels and making thread. You take some breath. And the next line, the daughter-in-law is thinking, oh, what happened? She's today saying that, Sasulo, take some breath. The next stanza she says, Charka chod jatalo. You stop spinning the wheels, now you grind the floor. Similarly, our acharyas are also like that. Once you have finished this project, immediately they will send Mayapur to you. They will not give any time for rest because they know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. The liberation is only by surrendering in seva to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This project, currently in Mayapur, 6 million visitors come, which is an average of 15,000 visitors every day. Out of which, 3 million people are fed prasadam. Like how Mataji was saying, Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir is known for prasadam, and Mayapur Mahaprabhu Mandir is also known for prasadam. There are both similarities we have here. And this temple is 1.5 acres, 600,000 square feet. We have Melbourne cricket ground. This is Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir Bhajan ground. This is also MCG, which is 1.5 acres. 10,000 devotees can do Kirtan at once in this temple. The total height of this temple is 350 feet high, the largest dome, Vedic dome, 177 feet in diameter. Next to the Vatican, we want the Vatican to have it. And this temple is $100 million, of which $30 million had been given by His Grace Ambarish Prabhu in one check. Not only that, he has inspired his daughters also to give $2 million, each one. Not only that, he was the chairman of the fundraising team, and we have traveled all around the world, collected now almost $20 million and given to the project. Total $50 million has been put in this project. And the remaining $50 million, of which $20 million we have in pledges from devotees all around the world like you. We need remaining $30 million. So we are traveling all around the world to seek the participation of devotees. And we had come up with a program where everybody can easily participate. We have called this program, everyone must be having this sheet. We are calling this program Navada Bhakti, Navada Shakti. There are 9 different ways of devotion. There are 9 levels of participation through which you can build this temple. Everybody has this sheet? Our volunteers can supply if they don't have. And we are calling this program as Gratitude Coin Program, Kritagyata. Kritagyata, gratitude. We are in gratitude to Prabhupada. We are in gratitude to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this program, we have Radharani coin for $1 million or $1.4 million. Don't be surprised. This $1.4 million has been given by Devamrita Swami, who is the GBC of Australia. And this can be given in installments. We need your sankalpa today. We don't need anything. Sankalpa, 0 down payment today. Everything can be given in installment in 3 years and 4 years. Now, the next is Chaitanya coin. Chaitanya coin is for $300,000. And I have to tell you, we got 2 Chaitanya coins from Sydney when we started this program. That is also from Australia. 2 Chaitanya coins. Now Nityananda coin. Nityananda coin is $140,000. And if you break over 4 years, it only comes to $10 an hour. You pay the parking or the fees for parking or the toll more than $10 an hour. This is very easy. In $10 an hour, you can be connected in seva to Mayapur in consciousness. $10 an hour. It's very easy. And we have brought 5 Nityananda coin. Who will get, whoever is sponsoring Nityananda coin. Not only that, Ambarish Prabhu told me, those who sponsor Nityananda coin, they would get, we are hoisting 5 flags. We are installing the chakra and kalash of Nrisimhadev and Radha Madhav and Ashtasaki and Panchatattva on February 7, 2018 in 4 months or in 3 months. So those who sponsor either Chaitanya coin or Nityananda coin, the first 5 flags, we would send it to you. We will hoist the flag and send it to you. For Nityananda coin, you will get the Nrisimhadev flag, the first flag which has been put on the chakra. And for Chaitanya coin, you will get the flag of Panchatattva as well as Nrisimhadev. So these are the very rare opportunity which we are introducing right now. Rarest opportunity. The other program, the famous program in all of our tour is Shiva's coin for $14,000 and Gadadhar coin for $30,000. Many devotees have participated. Shiva's coin for $14,000 is only $1 an hour. Just $1. $1 if you give, an hour for 4 years, you can finish Sriva's coin. $1 an hour is very easy. Everybody can give. Today, all the congregation, we have more than 100 Sriva's coin. Everything should go. Because $1 an hour. You can give $1 an hour to Mayapur, $1 to Melbourne Temple. Now, other program is the brick program. The brick is the golden brick for the golden avatar, where you write your names, inscribe your names here, and it will go under the altar. For Nrisimhadev altar, it is $1,000. These are Australian dollars. Where the lordships would stand on this brick for thousands of years. And for Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva altar is 2,000 and Radha Madhav is 3,000, and you can give all the three. And for those who sponsor Sriva's coin above, 3 complimentary bricks will be given from the TOVP on behalf of you, and your name will be in the wall of fame. And the last option is the square foot, because all the children of our movement, they also wanted to participate. So we have a square foot for $150. The children can give 1, 3, and 5. So these are the options. What I request you today is fill in this form with gratitude, not with hands. Fill in this form with bhav. Prabhupada had taken so much pain to preach this philosophy of Krishna consciousness to us. Today we are having this prosperity of Krishna consciousness. It is because of Prabhupada. All the credit in Kali Yuga goes to Prabhupada. One saint, he has said, Bin akan ka paini pahi janat laki pai. The shoe which we wear, it doesn't have eyes. But there is one goal to the shoe. That goal is to find who its master is. Bin akan ka paini pahi janat laki pai. When we slip into someone else's shoes, the shoe says, hey, you are not my master. You are not my master. We can feel it. Then he says, Char nayanaka narinar puchat michinumai. That the human being has 4 eyes, 2 eyes on the body and 2 eyes of Chaitanya. They don't know who the master is. That is why Srila Prabhupada has to come and teach us who is our master. So we are in gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for giving this opportunity to us to participate in something big. We are in gratitude. So please fill in these forms. Bhakta Prabhu, how our volunteers will go to the table and we will announce. As I said, we have 5 Nityananda coin. 5 Nityananda coin. And those who sponsor Nityananda coin, they will get the flag, the first flag which has been hoisted in this temple. Beautiful flag. Very, very auspicious to have a flag which has been hoisted the first time in this temple. And for Chaitanya coin, you will have both Nrisimhadev as well as Panchatattva Radha Madhav flag. We will send it to you. So let the show begin.
Very good.
Yeah.
Brajavilas Prabhu ki. Yeah. So is that clear to everybody? There are many different multiple ways in which you can contribute. So we're going to start now and see how we go. Are we going to have, Sukadev Prabhu, are we going to have the pledges straight away on the board? Okay. So here we go. So it's not, as reiterated, what Brajavilas was saying, it's not so much how much you give, it's that you give. This is a momentous occasion, and everybody should partake in this as best they can.
We thank you all. Let's make it with another $7,000, $500,000.
7 more thousand to go. Nitin, have you got someone? Jai Sachi, have you got someone? Will anybody want to up their bid a little bit? Yes.
Mohan and Sri Devi Bilgi, $1,000.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Bol.
you. Nitin.
Gaurangi Radha, $6,000.
Hare Well done. Melbourne Yatra Ki. Mayapur Yatra Ki.